from Yorkshire too long. Just before I start, I don't want to contradict our illustrious chairman, but he introduced me as a person from cancer research. No, I'm not. I'm just a straight cancer patient. And I'm sure there are other cancer patients, or you know of cancer patients, here in this hall today. My only entitlement to be here, actually, and to enjoy this wonderful dinner, is that I've had 7 lots of cancer in 5 years, and that I'm privileged to actually have been customers of some of our sponsors here tonight. And to quote an expression, I've been a commerce supplier of, to use a quote from Hobson's Choice, from Manchester Guardian. So I'm really privileged that I've been a customer of some of you in the past. My story started many, many moons ago. I won't say how many moons ago, but from the age of 2, I suffered with brittle asthma. Brittle meaning that you've been intubated, in other words, put on breathing machines. But I've been really proud to say that having carried around nebulizers and an oxygen cylinder, improvements in asthma and drugs have meant that I can walk and talk and come along and speak to you. And I thought everything's going well and I'm really improving until 2010. And I was out on a business trip over in Singapore and Southeast Asia, just running a small software company from Oldham in Lancashire. And I came back with a great big dimple in the side of my right breast. And I went along to see the GP and he said, nah, it'll be fine, it'll be nothing. It'll be the fact that you've been pulling big trolleys along and carting exhibition equipment all over the place. And he said, no, but I'll send you off. I'll send you off for, just a bit of an x-ray. Well, needless to say, they didn't used to, they tell you a lot quicker now, but those days they said, oh well, come along, have a biopsy. We found something a bit nasty there, but go away for 3 weeks and then come back to us. And then they announce and say, well, you've got it. Yeah, we need to get you in quickly. And unfortunately, it had spread to the lymph nodes, and then 6 weeks later went into the colon. And then, fortunately, I had a time, it was cancer-free for a little bit of time, but then it came back underneath the reconstruction. Yes, I had a reconstruction, because I was quite proud, and I like my boobies, and so no, yes, I had a reconstruction. But then it came back again underneath, so they had to dig deep and take out the reconstruction. And then they said, we're awfully sorry, we found some horrible cancer cells down in the uterus, the cervix, the fallopian tubes, and everywhere else down below. The Wythenshawe people call it bits and tits, and the BBC didn't like me saying that on BBC Breakfast at all. But yes, it was all over the place. Then this year, that was in 2015, and then this year it came back in the chest wall again, and in August 2016 came back in my upper jaw, and they took out all my gum and my bone, and I've now got a metal plating. So if I smile, it's not a pretty sight, so please forgive me. But I'm really proud to have been, during this time, I've volunteered to be an ambassador for not just cancer research, but Macmillan, and they very proudly accepted my help in trying to raise money for both cancer research and Macmillan. And I've done that throughout the Northwest and raised money and tried to increase the awareness, not just, I hasten to say, just on cancer research, but also to lobby different members of our community. So I'd go and lobby our MPs to try and raise awareness with our MPs, to try and raise awareness with the councillors, people like that, in order to not just say it's with difficult things that they might have to overcome, but just to keep it in the public eye. I've just done a recent campaign with the Oldham East and Saddleworth MP and the one for Oldham West, because I don't know if you find this, but whenever I walk into, and I walk into 5 hospitals, never less than 5 hospitals in a month, or when I'm going for radiotherapy treatment, and that's even at the Christie, I go through a blue barrage of smoke. So, and they try so hard, the chief execs, to try and stop the smoking, but it's really hard. So I'm trying to create awareness to try and stop the smoking inside the hospital grounds. And I've done this with our MPs and our councillors. So anything that we can do to raise awareness to stop the smoking with cancer research, we've done with our MPs and our councillors. And I don't know if you're aware that we've recently done a campaign, Cancer Research UK or all white, about the fact of how obesity does increase cancer. And everyone knows about the links between obesity and diabetes, but did you know that it leads 55% of obesity does lead on to some form of cancer, and that's in our young ones as well. I've set up a self-help group as well in Saddleworth, because there wasn't one there in Saddleworth, and so I've done that. And I've campaigned vigorously and done a book as well to talk about my experience, and all of the money from the book goes to cancer research, to Macmillan, and to Dr. Kershaw's hospice. And so I feel very proud that all this money is going back into the research for and trying to kill off the cancer as fast as we possibly can. And I'm very passionate because my own experience has been very bad with cancer in the family unit. There is a lot of help. Macmillan obviously provide the nurses, and there is a lot of help around for the cancer patient. But I don't know if any of you have had experience what help there is around for the actual family members or the carers of the people around it. In my own experience, with the cancer coming back again and again, it's been really hard for my daughter and my husband to keep their chin up when it's coming back again and again, and they keep having to visit me in hospital, and they really struggled. My daughter's gone through self-harming and suicide attempts. So I've set up a charity with Macmillan and British Red Cross to go put in volunteers who actually don't just go into the cancer patient's home, but actually talk to the cancer patient's family members and try and help and try and encourage them to talk about the issues that are affecting them and put in remedial, whether that's counselling services or whether that's practical help, and actually deliver that sort of real-time help and try and save some of the people that might be escalating downwards, or put practical advice in the family unit. So that's another thing that's being done. Started off in Preston and is now escalated to around this area, and we hope to take it to 32 other towns around the northwest. I think we need to celebrate everything that we've seen cancer research do. I've gone in to see all the different organisations that cancer research go in at first hand. The doctors and the nurses and the wonderful work that the researchers do and the scientists, they are absolutely fantastic. I mean, the work, the amount of money that we've put into, I'm talking about cancer research now, have put into the proton beam therapy. My whole side, you can put pins in it. It's a Christmas thing, because they love stabbing pins in it, because I've absolutely no nerves in this area. But the proton beam therapy unit at Christie, which is about to be commissioned and being opened by the Queen in April 2017, will mean that only the tumour itself will be targeted by the radiotherapy, and that it won't kill off all the good cells that are around that area. And that is absolutely magnificent. And without the cancer research, without your money, without your spirit, this wouldn't be achieved at all. So it's absolutely wonderful that of all the things that you are doing. I'm making a pledge. If anyone would like to have a look at my body, it looks like the Spaghetti Junction on the M6. If anyone wants to donate £10,000 to cancer research, they can come and have a look at it. It looks a right mess, I can tell you. but I would be delighted to show anyone. I'm more conceited. I set off more alarms in Manchester Airport than anywhere else, I can tell you. Someone said to me today, you need to go up there and make it sound like a great big bonfire. I'm sorry, Cancer Rich, if you disapprove of that offer. way. But I just want to say a little prayer. Let's all say a little prayer. Say a little prayer for you, that we're going to get rid of, kill cancer right here, right now. I know my diagnosis is terminal. I know that I might not live it, but let's hope in our lifetime, or at least in our children's lifetime, we will send cancer to the hell and back. So please, can I ask you to put your hands together and say we're going to get rid of cancer. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your love, and thank you for listening.
Give a round of applause. Right.